Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Thanks for coming. We are, as of today, at 600 subscribers, so I can't thank each and every one of you enough. It's such an honor to have each and every one of you here as a part of this group. I am blessed and am very thankful for each and every one of you, and I can't wait to keep growing. For today's video, I'm going to be reading another article and just kind of discussing a little bit about it and what it kind of means for me and for everybody else. So let's get to it. So this is an article that discusses floxing again, and here's the headline. Property Brothers stars Drew and Jonathan Scott's brother JD updates fans about his illness. The third Property Brother. Believe it or not, there are more Property Brothers than Drew and Jonathan Scott. The charismatic HGTV stars have an older brother, JD, who has appeared on their show a number of times. Back in July, JD opened up about his mysterious illness that left him bedridden and wondering if he would even survive. An update on his illness. JD posted an update on Instagram to let his followers know that his health was improving and that they had learned more about his condition. It occurred to me tonight that I hadn't actually given you an update since first announcing my illness. On the positive side, I'm still feeling better than I did last year or even the beginning of this year. I was exposed to and may have been suffering from fluoroquinolone toxicity, also called getting floxed. This would account for many of my symptoms, and the timing is dead on. P.S. Avoid ever taking any antibiotics that have flox in the name if you can. This is again what happened to me. If anybody's new here, I was also floxed, and part of the reason why I'm doing my channel is to spread awareness and make sure that everybody knows about this and how dangerous it really is. Taking things day by day, Scott continued explaining that he also suffered from mercury poisoning at alarming levels. My levels are so high, the health department got involved, he wrote. We don't know at this point how it happened, but I am being treated for it, and that would explain some of the issues I've been having as well. So at the end of the day, we have a lot more clarity on what was going on and how to tackle it. I've stuck to the diet, which limits almost to zero gluten, sugar, soy, and dairy. I have so many other things I have to take daily for this treatment, but I am so grateful to finally have some real answers and direction. I feel him. It is so terrifying and just downright heart-wrenching and excruciating to have to deal with these symptoms, not knowing why or how, and you have to change every single thing in your life. And when it talks about limiting gluten, sugar, soy, and dairy, that is absolutely key. Those are some of the biggest stressors, or those are basically going to be some of the things that you just really want to avoid. Every single person is different. The things that will harm you or bother you will not the next person, so this is a very personal path that you have to take. You have to really do your research trial and error, figure out what your body really can and can't have. But, you know, some of your major stressors are going to be your, you know, gluten, sugar, soy, and dairy, especially if they've been altered, if they're not organic and fresh. It's just really, those things make a major difference. So I just want to reiterate, though, that each person is completely different. You know, I know people that have taken this one pill of this medication, and they are permanently disabled. They have permanent nerve damage and continued issues till today. And then there's someone like myself who, of a 9-month period of time, I was on Cipro for 5 of those months, and it just wreaked havoc on my body. And it didn't matter how many times I said something to the doctors that it was hurting me, harming me. I could feel what it was doing to my body from the inside out, and it was scary. But again, each person's different. You know, one person can take one pill and be completely disabled. Another can take it for months and months and months and not realize what it's doing to you until years later. So this is just something you do not want to mess with. If you can avoid it at all costs, do. It is only meant for cases, like last scenario cases where, like, anthrax and MRSA, like, only. And when no other antibiotic worked, you know, so it's just very dangerous, and we really need to put a stop to it. Anyway, I'm going to continue on. With some direction on his condition, Scott and his fiancée, Annalie Bell, are taking his recovery one day at a time. So, I want to make a point to talk about the fact that, you know, it's finally starting to happen to more people in the limelight that can utilize their status to make changes. So by no means is a good thing. I don't want this to happen to anybody. But now that it's starting to happen to people in positions of higher, you know, in power, they can now hopefully step out and, you know, bring awareness to this. It's in another article and another video I'm going to do, you know, it talks about how there's a pretty good chance that Lady Gaga was also Floxed. And I'll go into more depth in the other video, but it's just the amount of people that this is affected and affecting on a daily basis is astronomical. It is so regular and regularly given that it's hurting so many more people every single day. New warnings are continuously coming out, and it's still being pushed on a daily basis. My last procedure that I was supposed to have, I was sitting there and chatting with the nurse, and I was just telling her that I was floxed, and she had no clue. No clue. And the other nurse, who was such a sweetheart, has also been floxed. So she knew 100%, but the other gal did not. And she was very confused. And the other nurse that was floxed and I were explaining it to her, and just it's incredible how many in the medical field really have no clue that this is that dangerous. They believe it's safe, and they will tell you it's safe. And so if there's a doctor that tells you it's safe, I would highly suggest getting a second opinion from someone else. I'm not saying that they're not a good doctor, but they need to do the research and learn, because this is a lot bigger of a problem than people are aware of. So that'll end this video for today. I did a little Halloween makeup, just a little half skull, just playing around, playing with my Jeffree Star Morphe collab. Love that palette. So yes, just be careful out there. Know what you're putting in your body. Be very aware of what it can do to you. If you absolutely have to take it, just make sure that you read everything about it, because you need to make sure that you're resting and not being active while taking it. It can really do more damage to your joints and everything if you're moving around and being active. So just be careful, and please, spread this message. Share this video. Share this article. The article will be linked in the description below. We need to make this a lot more aware out there to people. So yes, please like, subscribe if this video helped you out at all. I would really appreciate it. Please comment. Feel free to comment with any of your stories or floxing stories. Feel free to let us all know about it down below. Anyway, that's all. I really appreciate, though, you guys all coming and watching my video and riding along on this journey with me. I really couldn't do it without you guys. So, love you all. Good night. So you made it to the end of my video. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I would love it if you could subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified every time there's a new video. And I will see you next time. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.